All right, what I'd like to talk about today is something you might call taking credit. So we're all familiar with what taking credit is when you do something. For example, movies have credits that go on and on and on. They seem to be getting longer than ever before. Everyone that contributed in any small way is given credit in the film. Now, I've talked before about Aboriginal culture, Australian originals you might call them, who had a very successful culture which lasted over 100,000 years. And basically they got everything right, and we get everything pretty much wrong compared to them. So they had customs which basically made it impossible for someone to seek attention, grandstanding, seeking applause, things like that. And I've given an example of this before. I'll keep it short this time, but basically if a hunter brought home a kangaroo, then the person that got the first choice of meat was the mother-in-law, which was basically his darkest enemy, not enemy per se, but by custom he wasn't allowed to look at or speak to her. And there were reasons for that too, which I won't go into, good reasons. But anyway, so everyone in the tribe got the choice of what cut of meat they wanted, and the hunter was left with the entrails or the guts. So basically, he was in service to the tribe, to the others, and in no way, shape, or form could he use it to promote himself, to become famous, his reputation, and so on. Well, what we have here in our culture, and it's basically wired into us from an early age, because in school, for example, we are encouraged to get an A plus. You get a B plus, that's not good enough, unfortunately. So that's got a pretty bad effect on people, but even if you get straight A pluses, then you're probably going to want to continue to get straight A pluses throughout your whole life, right? And after all, what's the use of getting a straight A unless someone can see it, unless it's visible, a badge that you can wear. So I've also talked about acts of kindness, and it's very difficult to find true acts of kindness, charitableness that are done completely, where you don't know who did it. And it's funny because people can do that. They can give to a charity and remain anonymous. But probably deep inside them, they know that God is watching. Or part of them hopes that someday someone will notice it, Kind of like if you were, say, another example, say you were going somewhere like what I'm doing, you're walking, you're alone, and you see something that needs fixing. Maybe not a traffic light, but a sign or something like that. So you stop and you tinker with it and you fix it. And no one saw you do it. Maybe God saw you do it. But why did you do it, Part of you did it because you wanted to prevent an accident, someone in the future. But part of you may have wished in a way that there was a security camera there that recorded you doing your act of goodwill. So in our lives we do so many things all the time. Clean the bathroom, take out the garbage, wash the car, buy the groceries, all these things. And that's an airplane. When the spouse comes home, do they necessarily need a running log of all the crap you did? Hey, honey, I took out the garbage and cleaned the kitchen and filled up the car, No, they don't. But nonetheless, most people are sitting there ready with this list of things that they've done, accomplishments, to trot them out to get approval, and take credit. So what I'm getting at here is there's kind of two poles where it's like you can do the act and overtly try to take credit, or you can do the act and make it anonymous, where part of you actually it's not an absolutely anonymous act, most likely. Part of you wouldn't mind getting some credit for it somewhere, in heaven or security camera or whatever, or just in your own mind. So that's where we are. Everything that people do is to benefit themselves, to grandstand, to take credit, to get approval, to get applause. And in a way, it's not a mystery why things have turned out this way, because our culture conditions us to do that. But what I'm suggesting, like the Aboriginal culture, there was never any encouragement to do that. In fact, people were trained absolutely not to ever do that, not to ever consider it. They had never seen anyone that did that. So it's not even a polar opposite of trying to take credit. It's basically the taking credit switch has been turned off completely. So that's the question for us. Can we do things and turn off the switch? Can we turn off the credit, please? You may think I'm a fine one to talk because I've created all these things and I put my name on them, taking credit for them. And it's like I don't deny it, That's exactly what I was doing. Creating things to take credit for them. So I think I've covered it, and I'll leave it there. You're welcome to comment. Gotten some good comments lately from folks. This may not be one where there's much to say, but if you do have something to say, please do, because it's a pretty bonkers topic. So I'll leave it there. Bye.